Yo, good morning. Guido coming at you with a coffee talk. It is Sunday morning, September the 15th. Good morning, Pilgrim.
Good morning, Guido. Good morning, everybody else. With my decent cup of tea again. None of that chamomile and berry stuff. I've got a
Oh my
proper cup
goodness.
of tea. Proper cup of tea.
What was the
Happy
feedback?
days.
What was your feedback to the House General
Never
with the
again.
chamomile?
Never again. You may not wet my lips when I pass away from shuffle off this mortal coil. You may not wet my lips with that stuff. I tell you. Royal blend it is, Stickler. Thank you.
Do not bury Pilgrim
No,
after
not with that stuff. No,
after he
I'll put back and hold
freezes
you.
to death on Everest.
Yeah, don't pack anything in my
You're
bag
gonna
with that stuff.
you're gonna be found with a secret stash of chamomile tea in your pocket.
Never used.
Well, good morning, everybody. I hope your Sunday/weekend's going well. Well, we had another week of college football, Pilgrim. You'll be glad to hear.
Oh, excellent. Good.
It's been
Of course, it's kicked off, hasn't it? Yeah.
It has. It has. It's been a tough week for the Florida teams. Although I don't know if Miami won.
Gators.
Yeah,
Struggling,
I don't really. I don't really consider Miami one of the Florida teams, but that's all right. It's like a North Cuba team.
Really?
You know,
It's not.
South Florida is its own world.
Oh, okay. All right.
Down
So
there
that's
in
where the
Miami.
Jags are as well, is it?
Nope, Jaguars are
Jags.
north. They're up in Jacksonville, in the north.
Oh, okay. Because we get them over here. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Gators went down in a heap. They got absolutely destroyed by Texas A&M,
Wow.
and
Is that
the
down to tactics or fitness or
down to
what do you put it
sucking.
down
It's down to being
to?
bad.
Yeah, that's a generic term for
Yeah.
rubbish, then, is it?
It's down to just maybe not having anything to go with
No
at all.
defense. No defense. Is this what it's at?
Yeah. Yeah, some of everything. Texas A&M just rolled them up. I mean, it was across the board destruction. So it's hard to hang your hat on something and go, well, this was the thing. You know, if they'd have done this thing, then
Yeah.
well, the answer is if they'd have done everything better, they might have made it closer.
Well, that's down to the coach, isn't it? Because the players play the game. They've all got the skill sets. So it's down to how the coach is pushing out
Well, it's
the tactics, I think.
it's a mess right now in college football because they opened up some years back this thing, and it's gaining momentum. It's called the transfer portal, so it allows the kids to move from team to team much easier than they used to be able to.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know,
So
in
you
the
lose all those
past,
people.
well, yeah, but they're swapping around. They're going to where they think they can get the best deal, and it really is kind of the best deal because, in conjunction with that, now they have NIL, name, image, and likeness. Essentially, college kids can get paid.
Oh, right. So it's no longer
Right.
amateur.
Right.
Okay.
It is and it isn't because what they did is the name, image, and likeness thing. So the schools are not directly paying them. The booster clubs, advertisers, and people around them are paying the kids.
Right. Direct. So it's not
Yeah.
going
Oh
to
yeah.
the school.
So they'll
Right,
structure
okay.
these packages. You know, hey, come to
Right.
this school, and we've got this. The booster club has this, and this local company will pay you this, and this national company you'll get this. You know, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So what that's doing then for the teams is causing a lot of chaos because kids don't have a year or two to kind of gel and become
Yeah.
a better team. Now it's working for some teams. It depends. You know, if you bring the right pieces in, you got the right coach.
Yeah.
The NFL does
Yeah.
this, right? They kind of have their core team and then they move people around. It can work, but it also could be a complete disaster.
Well, I was going to say it'll destroy some teams who haven't got that together. You know what I mean? I think if you're playing amateur as such or college, you by quite rightly you should get something from like sponsorship, but things like kit or not money. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be because money's too
Well, there's some of that
too
too.
much of an attraction.
There's some of
You know
that
what I mean?
too. There's
So-
in kind. There's cash. There's in kind.
Yeah,
There's all
yeah.
kinds of. It depends on how your deal is structured. And I'm not an expert on how the deals get structured, but it's general. It's more or less freaking the Wild West. I'm of two minds because on the one hand, you said amateur a couple times. The kids were getting. I'm gonna say they were being used, and I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to put it in the context of the man is using him, although to some extent they were. Basically, they would play sports for 4 years, and the colleges would make bank off of their football.
Right.
Football in
Yeah.
particular, football's the big one.
Yeah.
Football's a big money thing. College football's a big money thing that the kids
Well,
were
you can
getting.
understand why colleges do that because they need the funding to provide the education. don't they?
Yeah,
That's where it's at.
well, yeah, that's interesting. You say that because also if it's a public school, public for us means public funded.
Right, so it's funded. Right, it's funded. Yeah.
Interesting
By
that the taxpayer gets to pay a bunch of money, and then their football program gets to make a bunch of money. And in the past, the kids got bubkus,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
The argument was they're getting an education at a really good school, and if they were good enough, that was a launching pad for the NFL. But that's not all the kids. That's a small percentage of kids on the team that are going to step forward. So with the transfer portal, I think you have some. It does fuel a little bit some of the kids trying to get into the right place to feature themselves, to make themselves into a springboard, make themselves a springboard
to
into the
professional
NFL.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that it's good and bad. You know what I mean? But it's a bit of the
Yeah.
Wild West right now. It's
It
crazy.
seems to on paper it seems to open up a world of opportunities, but I can see how that's very restrictive to some. Because if you're not in the right school, the right college, the right place, at the right time, you're not going anywhere, no matter how good you are.
Yeah, so the best programs in the past, say 10 years ago, maybe up to 7 or 8, the best teams in the past were on the model of Alabama and the way, at least initially, Georgia did it and some other big teams. What they would do is recruitment mattered, right? If you brought in a good freshman class and then you continued to recruit well, as those players moved through the 4 years of your college, sometimes only 3, because the really good ones would leave early. Usually, that was starting to accelerate too, about the same time this whole thing started. Because in the past, you played 4 years and almost never came out of college early. That's way back. Then you started having guys leaving their senior year who weren't going to finish college because they were good enough to go to the NFL. And why risk playing my 4th year? Sometimes third
Getting
year.
injuries, or something like that.
Sometimes if you're really good, they'd leave after 2 years in the college. But yeah, why would you risk your monetary future by getting hurt in college, not being paid? If they're going to draft you, let's go.
Yeah.
But so anyway, those teams, but the cast of supporting characters, the good part of the team, that's the whole rest of the team, would cruise through for 4 years, and you would, there were transfers sometimes, but that was more difficult to do, and then you had to sit a year.
So it was only the superstars that would move on super quick, and everybody else is, the good solid core.
Sometimes you would Sometimes you'd have a kid who felt like, Alabama's always a good example. They would be deep. You would have a senior and a junior and a sophomore, and they would all play and start on a team somewhere else.
Right.
The seniors got the job. Now, Saban always said, and the way he did it is, if that senior was better, that he'd play. If the junior for some reason was better, he would play. But that was kind of the hierarchy. But if you're the sophomore, you're third in line, and you're good enough to start for another Division I school, you might transfer, but you're eating a year of sitting around and not doing anything.
Sure you are.
So there were rules about that. That precisely so that kind of stuff wouldn't happen until now. So those good teams would be built off of good recruitment, and then coaches managing the teams as they moved forward, and then bringing in new talent behind to fill in spots and all that stuff. But that's in complete disarray now.
Right, because of all this open transfer.
Yeah,
Stuff.
I mean you still recruit. That whole thing still goes, but good Lord, you never know if that kid's going to stay.
You don't know if you're going to keep him.
No idea. No idea.
Cliffy sort of says it for me. If they let the first year people play, then there's no incentive to stay at the college if you get to a point, like you said, where you can move on. If you go into college knowing that you can't play for the first year, you knuckle down, get your education sorted out, knowing that the second year you might get a chance.
Cliffy's going back to first principles, because that was probably the first crack in the dam, actually, when they started doing that on a regular basis. Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild. It's a bit of the Wild West. It's still fun to watch, but it's sort of a bummer now because you just don't have those... The concept of the recruitment class and as they move through and how that's going to affect the teams is really diminished. I'm not saying it's gone. It's still there. You still have good coaches trying to recruit good classes, and they try to keep the kids, right? But now it's money, and it's where's my best option, and can I get and just because it's so easy to move relatively, Now you have a lot more people who will go somewhere else because they can play more.
Right.
You know, they
yeah,
might not
yeah.
even not even be worried that much about NFL, but they're just going to go somewhere else. That's a
So they
just,
can get a game every week or so.
yeah, so they can play more, or maybe they like the area better, or the coaches. You know, they got in and now they've, you know, maybe they even fleet up to a slightly better team. Like
Well,
they
how
got
does
recruited
that- how does
by a
that-
bad team, and now they're just going to go to a slightly better team. You know, whatever.
So how does that translate into the spectator then? Because as a spectator, you sort of, I mean, I'm equating it to soccer. So when I started playing, watching soccer, when I used to go to Anfield to watch Liverpool, I was like probably 12 or 13 when I started going for real. I used to go with my dad years ago before that. But anyway, you would like have players that were coming through the system. So you would see one of them come on, a young player as a super sub, sort of like a substitute, and he would get 20 minutes of the game. But then he would be in that team for the next 5 years. So you'd see him progress, and then
Yeah.
eventually he becomes first choice. So you follow the team as a whole. So the whole, 30 odd players that they've got on a soccer team, and I know they only play 11, but they got 30 odd in the background. So, and the names are all there, and you get to know them. And, as a spectator, you're sort of like, that's where your loyalty starts to be
Yeah.
built. So if you've got players who are not going to be there, as a spectator, there's
So that still
Different
exists.
team,
That still exists. I mean, there's still,
Right.
especially if it's a big time program and you're a big time talent and they've locked you down with a big NIL deal, you're not going anywhere.
right.
Right?
okay,
There's no
right,
reason.
okay.
Especially if you think that team's built to make a run at a championship or two along the way.
All right.
So
So you're not going to get many in the Gators, then? Is that what you're
well, for example, see that's the problem, right? Because kids want to go where they're currently winning, right? And they're not stupid,
exactly.
so they know where the and UF is a big time program. It's just they've been on hard times for a long time now, and you're gonna have a
Right.
hard time attracting good talent there, right?
saying? Yeah,
What's
because
funny
it
about
starts to get a reputation, doesn't it?
it does,
As
and
such.
and what's interesting in that particular case and several others around the country is they are big time programs, have been in the past. They have a lot of money, but they're throwing a lot of money at questionable talent at times, trying to just get a spark for, in UF's case, actually this is FSU's case, kind of a similar idea over there in Tallahassee. They brought in a quarterback that was a Clemson recruit years and years ago, DJ Ukulele. I can't remember how to say his name, but
Yeah.
he's terrible. You know, I mean, he's
Yeah.
a beautifully mediocre Division I quarterback.
Right.
You know, on a
They're spending money on him.
well, on
spending money on
yeah,
him.
at some of the smaller schools, he's actually
Yeah.
he's pretty good. But for
Yeah.
what FSU's trying to do, you know,
Yeah.
they replaced a spectacular senior quarterback, and they went undefeated last year until they lost their bowl game with this other guy and a couple other key pieces on offense. They brought him in as kind of a caretaker, experienced quarterback, hoping he could sort of get them through while they work up their next quarterback and all that stuff. But he's been a disaster. They're 0-3.
Wow. Says everything, doesn't it? I mean, when one player makes such a huge difference as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, in fact, Randall made a point that I wanted very quickly to pick up on. And Sergeant Major Rock also touches on it. College surely is about an education, and everything else is a bolt-on. It seems very much with college football these days that it's all about college football and the education.
Oh, it's been that way for 20 years, maybe more.
Oh, has it? Oh, okay.
At least 20 years. If you're, and again, it depends on what your prospects are. If you're a legit NFL prospect, then it is 100% about the football, and the college is going to classes, whatever. You just do that. There are.
So I mean, you won't know that until you've gone through at least freshman year. Surely that you're going to be good enough at
I think there's plenty of kids who come out of high school. Well, okay, this rabbit hole is deep.
right.
There are legitimate NFL prospects coming out of high school because there are high schools that are designed to feed legitimate NFL prospects into college.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
IMG Academy, yes. So
Yeah.
that's a whole nother level. You have the kid that was at your local high school hero, right?
Yeah.
The freak of nature, and he played 3 sports, and he was the best at all of them, and all county, and he took maybe even took your team to a state championship and all that. And he went to a public school, and yes, those guys go through there. But then there are these stacked teams in big cities like Miami and other places that are private schools that you have this talented athletic kid, and a school is secondary there. They'll always tout that the education is the important thing, but they're building NFL football players, at least building Division I college football players.
To be fair to the colleges, the money that brings in surely gives the non-footballing students that extra benefits.
That's the argument, isn't it? Yeah, that's the argument. Yeah, because it's part of the college. It's also part of the college mystique and aura.
Right. Not everybody's playing football, are they? Even
No.
Most ardent football college is going to be.
But there's massive stadiums there, and they have all the traditions, and it's a big deal in the fall, and that's when you come back to school and you kind of do that football thing until Christmas. And it is a huge, big deal. Yeah, and like Clippy said,
Gator's saying it's $1 billion industry.
Yeah, Clippy said 98%. Yeah, 98% of the kids playing football, they're not going to go to the NFL. So they are there for the education, also for the football.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was
a deep dive into American football for Pilgrim, because obviously I don't have a huge knowledge about it. Other than the Jags.
Yeah, it's quite the rabbit hole, man. All right, let's see. Channel News, what's going on? I should be streaming tomorrow, by the way, guys. That's my day off. 100 Battle Challenge, what are we working on? We're working on the Patton KR, the AAT60. I'm working on the T17, and I have unlocked the Blesk. So I have the Blesk.
Well, this is a light tank. Hang on, let me get my UI up. Hang on, let's have a look at this tech tree. What nation is this?
Czech.
Have I missed something? Czech.
Yeah, the Czech lights.
I've missed it, haven't I? Yeah.
How have you missed the Czech lights?
I don't know. I've got the Skoda T17 and done nothing with it.
This is the little autocannon guy, or the double cannon, or whatever.
That's the one. Now I know what it is. Yeah. So you're where? You're tier 8 now.
Yeah, it goes.
Oh, that one. No, I've heard that going off. I wonder what that was. Oh, cool. All right. Yeah. So you've got to wait till you get to that before you can have that noise.
Tier 8. The tier 7 is just an auto. It's just a common autoloader.
Common autoloader. Right. Because I've just had a game this morning while I was waiting for you to brush your teeth and clean your toes, whatever you do in the morning. So I had a couple of games just you're taking the bacon out.
Yeah.
And I was in a Scorpion. The Scorpion's a great TV. I love it. It really is. It's a really big whacker. But you always see tier 10s. I don't know, at this stage, you always see tier 10s. So I've got 9 and 10s. So I've got a mouse and an E100 in front of me. And they can't see me because I'm double bushed. And I've got this Blesk who is doing absolutely sterling work keeping them lit. But the only thing I'm managing to do, even if I switched over to premium, was track the E100 for the Arty to keep pounding it, which was great because that was all coming. Both the Bless was getting it, and obviously if I was tracking it, I was getting some kudos. The mouse came through. I think it was the mouse. Yeah, the mouse decided to push, got tracked, was sat out in the middle of the map getting absolutely mullered, and this thing got it from behind with a. It only had like that much health left, and it just went. I thought, I bet you're not happy, Mr. Mouse Driver, getting splattered by something that goes. It was awesome. Yeah, I was quite happy with that game. I got mullered by the E100. I actually poked out at the wrong time. I thought he fired. I thought I'll get his bottom plate now because he was.
Turns out he hadn't fired.
And he hadn't fired. No, he was just waiting for me to poke out from behind the rock, wasn't he? In my little Scorpion. But yeah, it was cool. Good game. Sorry, anyway, I'll carry on.
Yeah, that's what they do. You run around to the side of them and you just go bzzz. And then you watch health bars go brrr.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, it's an end game tank because if everybody's only got, there might be a 2-shot to anything else, but with this thing, you've got them straight away, haven't you? Almost. It's quite fun.
Yeah,
to get there now.
It's a little monster. I've got 13 battles in it, doing okay. What else are we working on? Type 63, Lorraine, T17. I'm close to the Gałika. This is a pretty good tier 7 fellows, 420 alpha. That's the Polish TD. Does not have the extra damage shell, but it does have a heavy alpha at 420. And the Burza, which is the tier 6. This thing's an absolute monster for for a tier 6 TD. It's got great armor at tier 6 and lower tiers. Gałika to some extent. I don't know though if I'm actually better off armor wise. I wonder how 1.73. All right, that's pretty good. I think the Gałika is about 0.5 armor efficiency. Yep. Yeah. So it looks like for its tier, the Burza has slightly better armor than the Gałika. But that's where we are on those things. Still doing a little bit of Panzer Corps 2, learning a few more things about that. That's pretty good. I did that video a couple weeks back. Might have been last week or the week before, and I discussed on that, guys, about. And I don't think anyone cares, but I was talking about there's core slots and there's extra auxiliary slots. I thought that that was a core part of the game. Like you had both those, and there was a perk for your commander, for your general, that said you got 50% more of those. And what I thought is it was 50% more of the auxiliary slots you had anyway. But that's not true. What it really was is you get 50% of your core slots as auxiliary slots if you pick that perk. Because I did another playthrough. Apparently I picked that perk the first time I played, and I didn't the second time. And I got into one of the matches, and the very first time I'm like, well, where's my auxiliary guys? I'm like, well, maybe the first mission you don't get it because it's the first invasion thing. I'm like, whatever. So I did a second one. I'm like, man, when did those show up? Did they not show up? So I did a second one. And then I got to the third one. I'm like, I know I had them by now. So then I started digging. It's those things you dig into, and I looked at it. I restarted another new game to kind of look at those. And I'm like, oh, that's actually a perk. That's not a core part of the game. So there's a lot of stuff like that I've been learning.
That's good though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like anything so complicated. It's not a complicated game, but detailed, I would call it. A detailed game. First of all, if you haven't played it before, it takes as much as it does World of Tanks to get into.
Yeah.
Or second, if you have played it in the past, it's just trying to remember everything.
Yeah. So I started a new campaign, and I decided to do it the way it's meant to be, which is where I don't give myself a bazillion prestige. It's all about what you start with and how you manage and how you use the prestige, and then how many different points you take and build prestige, whatever. I did pretty well. I got all the way I decided to do the North Africa route, and I got all the way, I think, to Tobruk or one of the North Africa, and I just ran out of steam. I'm like, there's a couple defense missions. When you get on a defense mission, there's so much coming at you, and you're so outnumbered. It's really difficult to take points, right? You're trying to hold the key points to win the mission.
Yeah.
But taking theirs is not easy, and that's where the big extra prestige comes from. And as you're getting whittled down, you have to use.
So I mean, it's not all about defense though. You're allowed, even though you're in that particular mode, you can still attack and try.
Well, the mission is to hold the points, but usually in the defensive ones, the AI has so much that if you immediately go on the attack, you're probably going to get swarmed. So you have to.
So it's 3-1 though, isn't it? It's
3-1. It's a lot, yeah. And of course, the higher the difficulty is, the more and higher skill level or experience level that's coming at you and everything else. But that I just ran out of experience. I ran out of prestige on that mission. I was unable to finish it. So.
What's the reason behind that then? Is you just need to be more experienced in the game? You have to have done the game a bit more to be able to get that particular thing done, or is it something to do with how you had it all set up?
Probably had the wrong mix of units. I mean, I tend to upgrade mine to the best units I can get, which is good and bad because you have fewer.
Yes,
they usually cost you more slots. So if I used not as powerful units, I would have more of them.
So we're talking about get more cannon fodder as opposed to
but that's a slippery slope too, because then that means more stuff's getting damaged, and now you've got to replace. You can use experienced replacements or inexperienced. Inexperienced replacements will decrease the level of the skill of the unit. Right. You know what I mean? So that's a trade-off, and it's what do you do you replace the losses because that costs prestige? Yeah, I could get good on
Oh
dog.
God, get good.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
blaming his team for not carrying him.
No,
Absolutely.
I'm definitely not doing it right because people can beat it at the highest level, and that blows my mind. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of interplay with it because it is a bit of a paper rock scissors kind of idea. You know, you have your artillery backs you up. You know, they can help. And how do you set up your attack? You use your artillery, use your air power. Where do you put your different units? And you know, how do you make sure you don't attack infantry in the woods with your tanks because that's not going to go well.
No.
Making things surrender, hitting all kinds of stuff.
There must be see, although we're talking AI and we're talking all that sort of stuff that goes with it, there's still a sweet spot that it's like every game, you know, every boss you fight in a boss fight, there's a way of doing it. So
Right.
there must be a way of doing it, and that's just learning the way of doing it to finish it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yep. And once you've played a mission a few times, you kind of know where all their units are. It's not randomized in any way.
Yeah.
So I think there comes.
And can you expect the AI to do the same thing every time?
Sometimes, yeah, you can bait it sometimes. So there's some of that too. You can kind of bait its infantry to come out. Say you put something like give it an artillery or something that it just can't resist attacking. And it'll rush for, say you've got some infantry that are dug in some woods or a city or trenches. You get an artillery close enough that if they can rush for it. Now be careful if you make it to where two of them can get the artillery or a tank or something, they might kill it. But say you kind of put a little pocket where they can rush forward and try to go after your artillery. Yeah, you're going to end up replacing the artillery losses, but you pull the unit out of the trench and you kill that thing, and now you've got a hole in their line. So there's some silly stuff like that you can take advantage of.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Cliffy, exactly. Yep. Or as we talked about, if you just want to have fun and you want to have an army of steamrolling things, just give yourself
200 tanks.
Just give yourself all the prestige you want, and then crank up the level of difficulty, and then you're gonna have, this is gonna be a massive war, which is actually kind of fun also. So there's different levels to it. So I've been doing a little bit of that as well, fellas. And that's pretty much it for Channel News, fellas. We should be streaming tomorrow, so we'll do some more of that tamale.
That's good.
All right, cool. Blue light special, man.
Blue light special. Here we go. Have you got new batteries yet?
Nope.
Oh,
What?
look at you're just about to turn. Look.
You're getting two more. You've got 2 RPM. I've got 1.
2 RPM. Yeah, you got 1. There you go.
All right. Play the Americans. I think there is actually
Madam
one.
Yorktown does. I don't know what she's talking about. What's she talking about, Guido? God, Emperor, man. Behave.
Oh no, I think they're referring to Space Marines 2. Yeah, that's a big game out right now. Is it out now, or is it just in beta or something?
God, Emperor, man.
All my gaming stuff is covered up in Space Marines 2 stuff. Warhammer 40K. Have you heard of that?
Well, I thought Helldivers was supposed to be that sort of thing.
It is. It's a similar idea.
It's a similar idea,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
You sort of like parachute into a war zone with aliens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would say that Warhammer is much darker than that. Helldivers is kind of campy. Helldivers
Right.
is more on the what was that? What's the movie?
Lost in Space.
No, I can't think of what it was called. I think it was a Heinlein book, or was it Heinlein who wrote the book? God, I can't think of the damn thing. Starship Troopers. Thank you, Clippy.
Oh,
Although the book Starship
With
Troopers,
the song.
the book Starship Troopers is not as campy as the movie they made. So it's that's interesting how that little dynamic
It's
has
a little
gone.
bit. It's a little bit of leather chaps and whips, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely. Helldivers is very frantic. I don't think Space Marines is going to be any less frantic. I think Starship Troopers, the book, is very serious. Yeah, yep. So the campy thing was the movie, and Helldivers is kind of off the movie.
I wonder if the author was in any way enamoured by the movie. I think the author probably went, this movie's crap. I don't mind that.
I think the author's dead. I think he's been gone for a while.
Okay, that's why I couldn't give it to us then. Yeah.
It's an old book. Did Heinlein?
Uh,
No, it wasn't Heinlein. I don't remember the guy's name. It was Heinlein. All right.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
Heinlein. Yeah, Robert A. Heinlein. Great book. Highly recommend the book. Book is fantastic. Very good book. How did we get there? Oh, Helldivers. That's right. Yeah, I haven't touched Helldivers since I came back from vacation 2 months ago.
Well, it was on sale. It went down. It only went down by 20%. So I'm waiting
Yeah.
for the biggie. I'm waiting for the big 50% off, and then I'll get it.
You died in '88. Jeez. It's been a while.
There you go.
Been a minute.
Been a while.
It's been a minute. Alrighty. Oh yeah, we're missions and specials. Let's see what's going on, fellas. First things first, we'll do something and then something else and this other thing. There we go. All right. New setup for the website, guys. Oh, that's not it. Do I already have this maxed out? I do. All right. So let's go on down here. Here's the premium shop now. As you can see, the website's been changed around. Is it better? I don't know. It's different. Helldivers is an M3 Stewart. Space Marines a 26 per. There you go. All right. So what do we got? We have Bohemian Knights. We'll talk about that mission in a second, but this is all around Czechoslovakia. There's a Skoda T27 and a T40. And then the Hurricane style for the VZ55. I don't know. You want. I don't know anyone who wants these tanks.
But there must be somebody, or it wouldn't be in there for sale, would they? That's my logic anyway. They've obviously identified that people will buy this, so they're doing it.
Well, I think they looked at their stable of Czech premiums and said, "That's all we got."
Yeah, we got nothing. We got
Makes
nothing
me
else.
makes me wonder why the Tier 8 premium light tank hasn't shown up.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess it's going to be a box tank or something. Who knows? We haven't had boxes in months.
We haven't had it at least 2 months.
I mean, the year started off with at least 2 events.
Yeah.
Pixels are
Didn't
drying.
Yeah, straight after each other as well, wasn't it? That was horrendous.
If you don't want to do the mission, you can just buy Marty Vol. He's $26 with some camouflage, some inscriptions, and some other stuff. Then we have a Borosk. What do they want for the Borosk? $35 for a Borosk.
That's all right. In comparison, what that's it's any tier 8, isn't it? $35.
$44 for the 252U, the 2 Utes, and then the T78 is $10. No, that's a 3D style.
Yeah.
That's a 3D
No,
style.
it's a style. It's got to be style, hasn't it?
It's 27.
I think the T78 is quite a fairly decent TD.
It is. That's actually a good tier 6
I like
TD.
it.
Yeah, it's
It is.
there's Hellcat T78
Yeah.
Jackson or whatever that tier 6 one is.
Yeah.
It's in between. I think it strikes a nice balance between the two actually.
Yeah.
So those things are
Yeah.
for sale. What else we got? Battle Pass, whatever. Watt Plus, gold, vehicles. Now I didn't realize this. These are all the standard sales, fellas. I guess they have a new section for style. So if you want to dig out a 3D style you don't have, and you feel like paying 20 or 30 or 15 or whatever they're charging for them, at least they're in one spot. I'll give them that. That's nice.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little better organised with it all.
Yeah, so it's not buried in featured or whatever. So this seems to be a semi-permanent or semi-permanent section of the store. You can get in there and just grab some. There's some 2Ds too as well if you want to buy some of these things. I mean honestly,
Grendel gets a point. Grendel makes a point there, which I quite find very valid. A lot of the 3D styles don't look 3D at all; they just look 2D. The styles that have machine guns, boats, and air tanks on the back of tanks, I get that's 3D, but a lot of it just looks 2D to me. It doesn't make any difference.
it's a balance though, isn't it? Because on the one hand,
Yeah.
we piss and moan about there's too much shit hanging off of it, and then on the other hand, we're like, oh, that's not 3D. There's not enough shit hanging off of it. Well, which is it?
Yeah,
Pick one.
Exactly. You got to have a surfboard before it becomes 3D.
Pig
Like
wants
a pig.
pig wants to smell or feel.
Smell-o-vision.
You want to smell the hydro and the fuel and the oil and the I don't know whatever the
Whatever the smell of a tank is.
the black powder, although I don't think it's black powder.
I mean, if you ask Dougie, tanks smell of urine and feces and a bit of gunpowder. That's about it.
The especially the
Same as
older,
MK.
well, it's any military equipment as it gets older. That's
It
what
smells.
the T-37
Yeah.
when I flew it was 50 years old.
Smell used.
Yeah, it smelled of jet fuel, oil, hydraulic fluid, sweat, tears, blood, puke, urine, and student fear.
Yeah, fear is the overriding.
And student fear.
Fear is what drives the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
Who said the Spanish Inquisition?
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Hail Jedi, are you referring to my fine flowing beard here? Calling it a rat?
Wow. That's aggressive.
It is aggressive. Hail Jedi being aggressive. Zemke, it's called a Karen. The same as it is in the States.
Oh, really?
Wow.
You just borrowed it. You just borrowed it from us, didn't you? All your
I'm pretty sure we invented it, but hey, you can't.
all
You know,
all your
as
best
always.
all your best culture comes from us.
We got called during the Gulf, which is totally unfair. Ruthless efficiency for the Pope, exactly, Clippy. Which is totally unfair. During Desert Storm, we got called the borrowers. Because we were forever borrowing kit off you people. Because you guys get everything, don't you? You know, you get chocolate cookies and all that sort of good stuff. So anything we ever needed, we just used to go around to the Marines and grab them off the Marines.
Like a little papa. Please, sir, can you
yeah,
spare a helmet?
Yes, all that. Well, camp cots were the thing.
Ah,
Because we didn't have any decent, you've got decent camp cots. You know what I mean? So if you've got to sleep at any point out there in the desert, apart from like lying on the ground, if you had a camp cot, it was the bee's knees. But they were not heavy. Like ours are very heavy. Ours were made out of steel. Yours are made out of aluminum. That stuff.
stealing is a time-honored
Yeah.
war deployment tradition.
It is. We borrowed without asking.
We
That's-
prefer to call it liberating.
Yes, liberating it, bringing it back to the motherland
Yes.
for you non-tax-paying bear dodgers.
Those other fellas weren't using this. It's much better
Yeah,
use
yeah.
over here.
Look at this going on. What's wrong with the SEA?
Average
They're
server.
aggressive.
I think 12 people.
12. I was going to say 12,000. 12 people.
Somewhere between 12 and 39 people. Yep.
That's it, Cliffy.
Let's see. All right, so that's pretty much
Really?
it there on the on that stuff. Let's take a look now. We'll jump over here and see what's going on missions wise. We do have something going on mission wise that would require a little bit of attention, and that is the Bohemian Knights thing, which you can end up with Marty Vol as a commander for free. I think I've broken this down. So let's see. You can do with the light tanks. This one's for light tanks. Do it 5 times a day. So that's the T-17, Blesk, all that stuff. And you can get 5 of these a day. 5 flags. Then you can also do these, which is any vehicle, and it's every 2,500 damage you'll get a flag and a shell guy right
Right.
here. Okay. So
Wait, look. Yeah.
if you get 25 shells, you'll get 5 more of these stamps. And then down here, for the number of stamps you have, so I'm 3 stamps away from getting the 2D style, and I'm 13 stamps away from getting a vent, and I am math in public 18 away from getting Marty Vol. I've already finished these 2, which was some kits and 1 day of premium. So I mean that's pretty decent. You can crank through them faster if you're doing both of these. If you do the the damage one, which is going to get you 5 a day, and then this one's going to give you 5 a day. I've thought this would take a while, but it doesn't. I mean, if you're doing 5 a day, you can do this within 4 days, and you have until the 19th, guys. Actually, the 18th, because that's in the morning on the 19th. So we have today, 1, 2, 3. You got 4 days more to kind of crank this out. 12,560 on now. On what? Wow, that's more than us. We only have 5,000.
Yeah, I was going to say there's only 5,000 on NA, but to be fair, they've only got the one server now, haven't they?
And there's 300 on South America.
Well, of course there is. And 299 of them are stat padders going down there just to get their numbers up, aren't they?
Pat Statters.
Yeah, Pat Stadders.
Silly Pat Patters. And that's it. We got the K91 on top of the tree, the Batchat Tion 25, and fairly useless, this mission tab. But there is something in it right now, so Bohemian Knights, you might want to take a look at that and figure out if you want to finish that up. It's a free commander. I have stacks of commanders on top of each other in the barracks.
Yeah.
In fact, I have so many that I just created my Blesk. Oh, that's the same crew. That's April, Julia, and Leonardo looking very stressed that he's in the tank with 2 women.
That's terrible.
He said, I just thought that facial expression is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, you can't see us.
See, Pale Jedi says too early for the NA stat padders to be on the Latin server. I beg to differ.
They all went to bed.
People stay up to stat pad stat.
My Skoda is Shredder, Krang, and Bebop, the bad guys from the Toys.
Are you changing the job title of each of those commanders in your
Not all of them are
your
locked.
barracks?
Not all. These guys are not locked commanders.
So you can change them. Yeah.
Well, they're not locked commanders, so they can be whatever you want them to be.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Although, I did screw up. I put Shredder in there, and I was digging around, and I thought I had clicked on this position, which is the gunner loader position. So then I clicked on Krang, and then I just mindlessly clicked on create, and I created another commander.
Oh, duh.
So then I had to retrain Krang for another 600 or whatever it was. That sucked, but whatever. What you gonna do, Pilgrim?
Well, what you gonna do? You just
What you
get on
gonna
with it.
do when they come for you, bad boys,
That's all.
bad boys.
Bad boys.
All right. What were we talking about? No, missions. I think that's it, fellas.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
That's
Where are you
wonderful.
on? Where are you on Battle Pass? I'm on 25 on the first chapter.
I'm on 12 on the second one.
12. What?
12 on the second one in EU.
You've been blazing.
No, in EU.
Mhm.
So, but on my NA account, I am. Let me just check. I am 13 on my NA account of the first chapter.
So if you add those together, you're almost done with 2 chapters total.
Yeah, I am.
Not that that helps you in that way, but
EU. No.
yeah.
You
How are
see,
you-
the thing is with EU, I know I call it free to play, but I will pay for the extra goodies.
Yeah.
What I do with the NA is I don't pay for the extra goodies until the end, and when I get to the end of the chapter, I'll one to go, I'll then pay and then get all that stuff in a one-er if it's worth it. Cause
I too call it free to play and then pay for everything.
yeah, that's what we do. I mean, my gold count on my EU account is something like, I don't know, 500 gold, just enough to do a commander change.
You guys-
I don't know.
You guys don't. You're not as good as me doing free to play and then pay
Exactly.
for everything.
Exactly.
I love that. That's amazing.
Exactly how it works.
How's everybody
I can take the moral high ground.
Yeah. Is anyone else done? Is anyone else just slid? I know some of you guys are slider guys. You just give me that tank. I did pick up my bounty, so I am now 6 coins away from getting the final tank, the
That's all right.
TD thing, whatever it is.
Yeah, but I mean, you're an ardent collector, aren't you? So
I am.
for me, the tank is here and there. I couldn't be bothered with it.
30
I like
years
the
from
bits that
now.
come with it.
30 years from now, I'll visit my garage and all my tanks arrayed.
You'll have 1,000 tanks in the garage.
Yep. And I'll
Won't you?
yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Lined up. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, you know, all there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
No game to play, but they'll just have 1,000 tanks in your garage.
How do you have them all, Zemke? Did you not buy bounty ones? Or are you saying you've played so much you finished it all? Because you can't have it all unless you've been ignoring the bounty stuff. All right. Unless you've actually got through a bunch more of this chapter, season, whatever it is. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so that's where we are on that bad boy. I think we're about ready for subjects du jour.
Well, that was quick in coming. My camera slipped down.
It was. There's just not a whole lot going on. I mean, there's a lot going on. We're sort of. I know we make a joke of it every year at the beginning of the year, but we are starting to approach that Christmas thing. And I did do a news trawl, and I haven't heard much of anything about Christmas yet. But there are rumors. Actually, Wargaming put a video out that it looks like the Waffentrager thing's coming back, and it appears that it is a Waffentrager Mirny.
Yeah, it seems to be a collab between the two, doesn't it? It's like, or a connection. I think there always was an intention to have that connection because a lot of it was in my mind connected anyway.
Yeah.
You know, with all the sort of the scientific stuff going on and all that sort of. It all sort of rolled into one story for me.
My understanding is they're developing a show with Amazon on it too.
Oh really? Oh, okay. That'd be interesting. Not.
It's going to be done.
I nearly believed you for about a millisecond.
It's going to be done by the same people that did the Rings of Power.
That's the one. But not Space Troopers, whatever it was called.
Oh my gosh, that show is so bad.
So what's going to be in the boxes then for Christmas?
Tanks.
Tier 8, check. Premium.
Tanks.
You think?
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know, man. It's a great question. There are some rumors on what some of the different boxes are. It's hard to dig through it these days because you've got China does its own thing. Sometimes Asia has slightly different stuff. You have Blitz. You have whatever the other one is. What are the three tanks? There's World Tanks PC. There's Blitz, and what's the other one? There's one other. What's the console? Is that Blitz?
Oh, it's the.
There's another name. There's a third one, right?
No. Yeah.
Or am I wrong? Is there only two?
No, it's a.
And the other thing we'll look at it. The other thing I'm starting to not just walk console. Okay. The other thing, so walk consoles for consoles. Watt Blitz, is that for phones?
That's a small game. That's for like
phones and tablets and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can play on your phone?
Yeah, you can play Blitz on your phone. I used to play it on an iPad. The old thumb action.
Could you also take pictures of your kids with your
I've got hundreds of
iPad
pictures
at the
of
same
my
time?
Yeah, I've got hundreds of pictures. I'll send you some. I've got hundreds of pictures.
No, I don't want pictures of your kids. I'm just saying old people with their iPads taking pictures.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I do that all the time. Pictures of the wall, the corner of a screen, bottom end of a cup.
Yeah.
The washing up.
Oh, those are the accidental ones. I do that all the time with the phone.
Yeah.
I take screenshots constantly. It drives my daughter crazy. Because somehow I hit those two buttons at the same time while I'm fat fingering, you know.
So much fun.
Because I get
do it on purpose.
you get the big sausage fingers on there. You're trying to.
Yeah.
And then you hear
On purpose.
my little thing goes, and you see a little screenshot go, and it puts like saved screenshot of whatever the hell you were just doing. I'm like,
That's
yes.
Modern Armour was the one you were thinking about.
See, there's that. Well, here's what I was getting at just a second ago before I got derailed, Pilgrim.
Yeah. Talking about old people stuff.
Yeah. So there's Modern Armor being developed, or is out or something, and then
Well,
there's
it's out on PlayStation and Xbox. Yeah.
okay, so that's a console thing. Then I keep hearing this Watt 2.0 thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, there's more news on it. We'll take a look at it in a second, but I keep hearing about Watt 2.0, and I can't suss out whether this is a massive update to the current game or an actual new game.
Well, I don't know how it can be a new game. I don't know how it would.
Well, if they build a whole new engine, I mean, they could
what's
port.
the attraction?
Well, they do different graphics and physics and all that stuff. If it just upgrades the world that they're creating it in. I mean, if it's
they did an upgrade years ago, if you remember, on the graphics package.
Yeah, yeah.
So they brought in whoever it is now that does all the graphics.
See, this is an old engine, dude.
It's the same game.
This is an ancient engine, and it's
Yeah.
cobbled together with at least one other or multiple others that they've put together. They're getting scared of steel aces, and it's not even out yet. I have seen some things on that. Update to modern engine so they can poach other. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not sure what exactly is going on with that. It doesn't seem to be clear. There's no real news for them on exactly what's going on. They're not exactly hiding it, but they're also not advertising it too much either.
No, I think they're keeping everything close to the chest because I don't think they've got it all worked out, whatever it is.
Yeah. But
we'll look. 3 maps, Katie. Yeah. New engine, new graphics, same maps.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Do you know what would bring players back to World of Tanks? I've just sussed it.
Cash.
No. What would bring players back to
a free tank? A free tank where one guy has to invite you back.
Not even that. Open up the dark areas on each map and let people mount in goat, because that was the best fun
that
I've
was
ever had
dumb.
on tanks.
Dumb.
It was awesome. I could sit up there in my light tank on the top of a little mountain, popping at everybody through the top hatches, and nobody could get me. It was great. Not even Artie.
Was that when you were running 65% win rate?
Absolutely, I was top dog then. I'd come back to the game all day long for that. I was a purple player at that point with my 10 games.
Right. That was also when Artie was still good.
Yeah.
And would regularly destroy people up there. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Fantastic.
Oh, what? There we go. Here we go. Hold on. Boom.
Taking an awful long time to catch up.
I'm just showing you and me.
43%.
I'm just showing you and me and our 40. You know what though?
That's changed.
It has. We improved that the other day by a significant amount. Yeah.
Exactly.
43.05.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The 43%ers.
43% club.
Horse.
Look, we have a reputation to uphold here. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have to die in the first.
We have 57% fun.
Yes. Yeah.
And 43% wins.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, fellas. We're just about an hour, so we're going to take a slightly early break. And I'm going to refresh my coffee cup. And Pilgrim has to get some more chamomile.
I do.
You guys refresh your cups. We'll be back in 5 minutes. We'll do the rest of the subjects du jour. But we have some fun stuff. Because there was a band wave and it got pretty funny, but we'll be right back.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell, to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man, to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. The mountains are home where he watches the moose and hummingbirds aplenty. But he saw the need for the Watt community to have a guru and lead them gently. Down the road to Unicom land will die, trying hard in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So we broadcast his message far and wide, using YouTube, Twitch, and various means, to lead you to the promised land of WR. Win 8 and damage counts. That a mortal man is only stuff of dreams. Win your flank and then go back, was his mantra for the pack, to which they shouted, yes, boss man, that we will. Win our flank and then flex back. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game.
Alright, we back. I got my new oh crap, I gotta hold on. Coffee grind. Alright. Anyway, welcome back.
Did you get? I meant to ask you. Did you get the FE certificate? Did that come through?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. All right. Oh, I knew
Did
you
we
might
not-
have mentioned it anyway.
Oh, I don't know if I did. Maybe I didn't. Hold on.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
It's in the
cool.
background.
Yeah, I think you did say it came through. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's cool. So
Look at that. Awesome.
says Certificate is proudly presented to Guido 1212 from Pilgrim. Thank you very much for assisting with the restoration of the FV 4005 Heavy Gun Tank number 1.
Excellent.
Very cool. Yeah, it's been
It's
sitting
cool,
there.
isn't it? Yeah. No, I forgot all about that.
Back there in its place of honor. Actually, the other thing, I don't know if I've showed anybody yet. So I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with it.
Hello, Jimmy K. Oh yeah. That's a bit special. That one.
Yeah, this was another gift from Pilgrim.
To be fair, it's quite big to actually put in a frame. So I don't know what you're going to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. But still very cool, so you probably describe it better, but the title is The Reunion. Oh, that's part of it too. These are all the names? This must be all the names.
Yeah. That's all the names.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, so if you were going to, I see, so that could go in that would be like a 2-part
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
but you can describe, I'll show them, you tell them what it is.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So that is an original painting by, I think, a man called David Shepherd, if I'm right. It's he did a several number of prints of it. And it's showing the original founder of the Special Air Service. So the guy in the middle, David Stirling.
And the white.
In the white. And then you've got various unknown but known sort of names along the way. I think you've got Brian Franks in there. You've got Tanky Smith. So it goes through the years. The Tanky Smith, I think, is on the right-hand side. I know Tanky quite well. He's passed now, bless him, but I knew him quite well. He was part of my era with the unit. So, but yeah, it just shows all the different sort of unknown but known names. So they're names that are known within the regiment, but unknown outside. So
Right.
quite cool. Yeah.
Very cool. So I appreciate that. Yeah, I gotta still just figuring out what I'm gonna do with that one.
I don't know if you'd need a double frame or a frame.
Well, I think
Just
with the
little-
little
have the
little
names
name
of
thing,
yeah.
you would do a cutout
Yeah.
for the picture, and then there would be another one below. I think is the idea with the names.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So that'd be awesome.
Cool. Happy days.
All right, let's see.
Where were we?
Subjects du jour. All right, first thing I want to talk about is, have you delved into Wargaming's Discord chat?
I've never
have you
been
gone into that
No.
den of thieves and scoundrels?
But that's probably the main reason why, because it would just probably just not be a thing I want to do, to be honest.
So tied into the bandwave, I guess somebody, probably multiple somebodies, but this particular somebody came into the Discord probably this morning or so, because it might be gone by now, but if you go into I think the general chat, somebody is just absolutely going off, throwing the C word around, and
Really, people are just too
so
much.
this guy's probably effing your mother, all this ridiculousness. I think he's trying to get banned. He's crying because he got banned in this big ban wave, so now he's on Discord attempting to get banned apparently. But although that's an extreme version, the entire thing is just a disaster area.
I can imagine it would be. I mean, ever since they got rid of all the other ways of communicating, then they've just left that.
I mean, it is easily 100 times worse than the forums, ever thought to be.
Well, I think the forums. There was always the known people on the forums, the people that you just knew were, let's say, a little bit left of centre. So, and then you would have people like Pig was always on the forums, bless him, and you would have Avalon was on there, and various. So you had and yourself, and you get real common sense and good things to talk about. You know what I mean? So you could skip through the forums and get rid of all the idiots because you immediately knew it was an idiot. So you just have not watch it. But with Discord, it's in your face, 100%. You can't get away from it, can you?
Well, and the short form response stuff is it just breeds flippant nothing responses. It's worthless.
Yeah. It's just my life is too short to spend time on it.
Yeah, and I don't. I just happened. I don't know why I was looking at it. Oh, I remember why I was looking at it, because I was looking for info on the Bandwave stuff. So every every 4 weeks I'll sort of look around and then remind myself of how absolutely worthless the Discord is.
Yeah. Those are 5 minutes you're never going to get back, are they?
I mean, that's for me, for my age group. For me, the closing down the forums is one of the things Wargaming did that actually pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
love the forums. I mean, I didn't contribute that great to it, but it was great to read. And actually, there was a lot of useful information.
There was. You would get a lot of stuff, but digging through the Discord to find anything of any substance is just...
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, stab my eyes out with a rusty spoon, rather.
Yeah, with a broken mug.
Yeah. Yeah, their staff has gone through a relatively lot of turnover lately. I don't know anything. I don't know any of them at this point, really, to be honest. And none of them really know me. I only knew the NA people anyway, so. All right. So yeah, if you want to ruin your day or see how silly something is, then go check out the Watt Discord. It is a flaming dumpster is the best way. That gets overused, but
That's so descriptive.
But it is a flaming dumpster fire.
Yeah.
All right, I guess Waffentrager's coming back, guys. So we did mention that earlier, and I believe there is an article on it. Let's see here.
But as you say, tied into Mirny.
Yeah, I think it's just a video. Oh, 7 minutes ago. Actually, they just did an update on that.
Have they? Get the UI up.
Oh God. Oh Lordy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. I just saw something.
What did you see?
Oh my gosh. So. Okay. Yeah.
No.
I present to you
Oh.
Agent Daki, Agent Mouse Acrobat, Agent Quickie Baby, and Agent Skill for LTU.
Leave the danger zone. Quick. I'm alright. Careful. New Year's might start early.
Heads up. If it hits us, we'll be out of action.
Heads up. If it hits us, we're out of action.
Leave the danger zone, quick!
Leave it at danger zone, quick! That's the only one I'll have is skill.
That's all
That makes me laugh.
Fix
Leave it
our
at danger
storage,
zone,
don't
quick.
let it explode.
Oh, don't let
Great
it
shot, do it again. Baboon King is down.
The who? The what's down?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's funny.
Kaboom! I am expecting 3 kills minimum.
3 kills?
This will take some time. Prepare to attack Von
He
Krieger.
sounds like Borat.
Nothing prevents
He
us
smell.
from destroying
He
the enemy.
he sounds like an American Russian accent in a 1980s Russian movie.
We can't
I love him
move.
to bits, but really he's sold out now, hasn't he? He's sold out to
Don't
Wargaming.
panic. There is still a chance.
All 4 of them. Sellouts to Wargaming.
I'm actually surprised that they are. Well, not really, I guess. All right, so it appears there are crew. Let's see. All crew members come with enough crew XP to train 3 perks, but not a 0.
Wow.
How many Quickie Baby versions are there now?
There's hundreds of them, isn't there, Mr. Sellout?
Oh, I don't blame them, man. Good on them. Whatever, they're getting money for what they do.
He's getting money for it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's got to pay his bills.
It's
hasn't
still pretty funny. All right, so the Blitztrager Alf E100. Yep, it's the same. Von Krieger's Fearsome War Machine. So it's the same idea. You have the Harriers running around trying to take out a E100. Uh-oh. Boxes. I answered my own question. Boxes are back.
There you go.
Boxes are back on the menu, boys.
There's a gold in it. Is there a Waffentrager in there?
Well, hold on. Let's see. Progression rewards are boxes, the Waffentrager for rental, crew members, Von Krieger himself, Blitztrager keys so you can play it, Battle Pass points, okay, components, bonds, and credits. All right. So open the engineer's crate. Complete the Waff. Oh, here we go. Here's the tanks, fellas. You heard it here first. A rental, E77, the Tier 9 Premium.
What's the odds of getting that? Guido?
Leichter KPZ 70, a Tier 8 Premium. Project Ion, a Tier 8 Heavy. Project Ion. EOS 1 3D Style for the Leopard. Thunderbolt 3D Style for the Patton. Faudre for the Bachatillon 25T. The Resistor 3D Style. Pojistka 3D Style for the 5051, and this is for the 140. And then we got more stuff. We got manuals, credits, premium, gold, guaranteed 100 gold. Well, there you go.
Okay, so every box open will have 100 gold in at least.
Yeah.
Fair enough. How much are the boxes?
Training.
say,
We're
does
not getting there. We're. Doesn't say. It has a what? They have a CFB tab for what it's worth. What does that mean? CFB. What is CFB?
It's all about NCAA football and local regional broadcasts. Oh, nothing to do with the boxes.
Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. Threw me off. All right, E77. What do we got here? We have a Tier 9 Heavy. Looks to be Jolman. 1,800 hit points, 460 alpha. Looks to be a cyclical gun. 246, 311 pen with gold. Not a great dispersion at 0.39. Turrets, 290. That's pretty good. Hull's decent at 135 and looks like to be okay angling as well. It does 40. -8 gun depression is okay. And that's it on that thing. That's all they're showing you right there. All they showing you. It's the 12.8 centimeter gun. All right. Then we have
The reload time is quite big on that, though.
Yeah, what is it?
I know. I was just say, I bet it is.
Yeah, it doesn't have it here.
12 centimeter gun.
And it doesn't have DPM on there either.
No.
So it's just limited information. We've got the Leichter KPZ. This is a light tank. 1,100 hit points. It's a Tier 8 Premium. 240 Alpha. 190, 260. 0.33. 8.5 second gun reload. For a 240 Alpha?
Wow.
What? They're kidding, right?
No, it's their attempt, isn't it? It's their attempt to balance.
What in the hell? The Black Dog. Hold on a minute. Tier 8. What's the reload on the... The Black Dog's got a 240 Alpha and it reloads in 6.33.
Yeah. It's obviously they're trying to make it what they will call balanced. Well, I don't know if it's... Yeah, exactly, Pig. It's a medium, not a light.
It shows a light, and here's what's funny: concealment, moving, and stationary are different.
Yeah.
Something's wrong there.
Yeah, definitely. It's got to be a medium, hasn't it?
Light tanks have the same moving as stationary, so I don't know if that's a firing number or something. I don't know. It's got a good HE shell. Okay. No armor to speak of. It does 60. That's pretty fast. What's this? -10 gun depression. That's odd. And of course, I like... Why are just these numbers? Why would you not give better numbers? Why would you not give all the numbers? Where's the Something's wrong with the concealment to begin with. What's its view range? Stuff you would care about. It's got a pneumatic suspension.
Oh, well, that might be pressed in X then.
No, that's the automatic one where it hits, which means it's got a
okay.
better gun depression, obviously, I guess, than -10. Is -10 the total with
Well,
the
it would
pneumatic?
show the figures, surely. It would show the figures. Say
Well, that's my point. They don't even
-10,
show the damn
-12.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, is it 8 plus 2 for 10? Is it 10 plus 4 for 14? What is it?
Yeah.
Whatever. That looks weird. Project Ion! What on earth is this? Hannelore
Is that heavy?
Ritters.
It is a heavy, isn't it? Just looking at it now. Oh, T56 clone, Chubby says. Yeah, I can see it now. No, I won't.
It's a T56 clone?
Yeah, it looks that way now, doesn't it? Just going to open the screen up a bit more. I can see it more.
Yes, it's a 2-shell magazine. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a 3D style. So it's a clone of the. Okay. Okay. So 3 new tanks in the boxes. That's everything that's shown here. Was that everything in the boxes? Just those 3? It was 1, 2, 3. Okay. So there are no old tanks in the boxes.
Just styles.
Yeah. Ultimate Blitztrager, Alpha 220 Showdown. Waffentrager merchandise. Boy, they're going all in on this. Mark your calendar. Event guide. The event guide is only on EU? What on earth? I went nowhere. It took me... Wait, what? What just happened? Is this the event guide? So, do. Event guide. Okay. No. Oh, God. Just go away. All right, there we go. That was weird. Are those... What on earth is going on here? Prepare, Reckoning. That's just the preparatory. All right, so the event guide is out there. I'm not sure how I got to this. Maybe it's the EU. No idea. But anyway,
No idea.
September 20th to the 5th with an asterisk. What's the asterisk mean? Please note the last day of battles will take place on October 4th. Well, that's always like that. They always do that. It's interesting that they do the asterisk this time. All right, anyway, so the 20th, that's 5 days from now. Thursday, is that right? Friday.
5 days. Yeah.
Friday. All right, so Friday, and it is gated. This is all the EU times. It looks like the EU article's up, but maybe the NA one isn't quite yet. I don't know. But if it's the same, it's prime times from 2 to midnight. All other event days from 10 to 10. 11 to midnight. Okay. All right. Asymmetric battle. Yep, Harriers and the Blitztrager. You need keys. There's a reward progression. You get a rental. There are crates. And there are new premium vehicles. Copy, copy. Initial battle
See you
time
later,
is...
pig.
See you, man. So 6 minutes. Each capture generator. Yeah, so it's a similar idea. The Harriers.
Yeah.
You have generators. There's sentinels to kill. Harrier missions. So Harriers crates will have the smaller stuff in them.
Right.
And then there's the Waffentrager stuff. I guess there's a Harrier crate there. I'm imagining there's one. I think you could win one big crate by the end of this thing. Is that right? No, it doesn't show that. Special key.
Yeah, another special key. I don't know.
Yeah.
And of course, there'll be things you can buy on the top of that, won't there? You know, the Waffentrager keys. You'll probably be able to buy a load of those.
Yeah, so there are 20 of the small kits and 2 of the large boxes. So you can, free to play wise, through progression of rewards, if you do enough of it, you will get 2 free shots at one of those new tanks. The Harriers crates, the small ones, will have credits, reserves, kits, demounting kits, and days of premium. Now here's the... Okay, 100% of that. Then 100% one of these rewards, which are decals. There's actually a 3D style involved in there, and then a bunch of decals. And a couple camouflages. Okay. And where's the Waffentrager? Where's the big kits? Here we go. All right, here's the engineer's crates and the percentages. So, 100% to get either credits. All right, the gold is guaranteed.
Yeah.
You will also get either a day of premium or silver, I guess is what it's trying to say. Why would they be in the same section? That's hilarious. Chance of receiving one of the rewards, 100%. Chance of this reward, guaranteed.
What does that mean? That's the same thing, surely. I don't know. Oh, dear.
All right, does that
You're
mean...
guaranteed then, aren't you?
So, awesome. It looks like you get 100 gold no matter what, period, dot.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that also mean that then there's a random roll for one of those 3 things, in which case you might get another 100 gold? Or is
Oh, okay.
or-
It's not thousands and thousands of gold then. It's just. Like,
or is it another roll for the silver or the premium?
Yeah,
Who knows, based on that. I couldn't tell you.
yeah.
Seems like, well, the way it's set up, it seems to me like you get 100 gold, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then it rolls again for one of these 3, or rolls for one of these 2. If that's the case, then why was not the 100 gold up here guaranteed chance of one of these 2? This seems to indicate you have a chance at another 100 gold, but who knows? All right. 75% chance for booklets, free experience, personal reserves. Okay. 5% chance for the 3D styles. 2% chance for one of the 3. Oh. The other article did not indicate that all this laundry list of old tanks was there, but it appears
Right. There's
that
a whole load of other tanks.
earlier I said there's only new tanks. That appears to not be correct. 56 TP.
Now, will you get gold instead of them if you've already got them? Doesn't say, does it? I bet you.
We'll get to that in a second. I would assume so, but
No.
stranger things have happened. 56 TP, Chieftain, KB5, Yag Tiger Proto, Aston Rex, Gonzalo, and the ISU 122. And then a 1% chance to get 20 random battles in the old Waffentrager, or the new old Waffentrager E100 in the game. Okay. Let's see. When a vehicle drops, a slot in the garage is created, then information about it will be displayed. If you receive a vehicle that's already in your garage, it will be replaced by another vehicle from the list that you don't already have.
Oh.
So
Oh,
that's...
you got all of them.
Well, that's the only way you're going to... Well, it will randomly drop one. If that's in your garage, it will generate another one.
Right.
Meaning that once you have all of the ones in your garage that are the already released ones, you will automatically get a new one. But you could roll the new one on the first roll.
Yes.
It's...
Right.
Yeah. Essentially, you're not going to get any gold compensation until you have every one of those 9 or 10 or whatever it is.
Okay. Okay.
10. All right. If you already have all the vehicles, you'll be compensated. There you go. But you would have to have all 10 of them before that happened.
Yeah.
If you have sold a premium vehicle from the above list and it can be restored using the in-game vehicle restoration tool, it may drop from the engineer's crate at the...
That's a cheat, isn't it? That is such a cheat.
Here you go. right back at you. Guaranteed.
Yeah,
If you
have
open,
it back.
yeah, if you open 49 and did not receive, so standard guarantee every 50, you will automatically get one. It will be reset though if you hit before that. If you already have the vehicle guarantee, okay. Wait, if you. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I think that's new. Wow.
Trying to read it.
Okay, I could be wrong. Has that existed before? Has it existed and not been advertised as such? I've always said that once you have all of them, at least every 50th, you're guaranteed the gold. See what it says, Pilgrim?
Yeah, then the guaranteed whole mechanic will be disabled.
Yeah, so you could still hit one at 2%, but you're not guaranteed one at 50 boxes.
Wow. If that's a setup for Christmas, whoa, that is not good in any way, shape, or form. Oh, that's a sneaky one-liner, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sneaky one-liner.
Yeah. Wow. All right. I think that's new. Wow. Reward replacement. Okay. Oh yeah, this is the re-roll. So the first replacement costs you 25,000. Engineer's crate. Okay, so Harrier's crates you can re-roll for silver. I don't know why you would. The rewards aren't worth it. Why would you re-roll for these rewards? Who gives a? Yikes. I mean, I guess if you, the only one I could see really re-rolling is if you have a bazillion days of premium and you're like, whatever, 25,000 credits I can make in a game or two. Let's just see if we can get something else. But let's say you re-roll for 25,000, you get a large first aid kit. They only cost 20 to begin with, so there's no point.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There is no reason to re-roll a Harrier's crate. Is it really 25,000? Are you freaking kidding me? These people are stone cold idiots. What on
I don't know how they
earth?
monetize it. I don't know how, they think silver is worth more than it is. I think.
What kind of moron would spend 175,000 to re-roll these rewards? I guess technically, well, there's two there that I would say could possibly be worth it to you, even though I don't think they are. Number one is an hour of plus 50, but even so, that's 175. So you've already cut into any profit you're going to make for an hour of playing with a plus 50. Yeah. The demounting kit could be useful because it saves you gold. But that's it. Yeah. The rest of this is garbage. There's no way you would do 175,000. Maybe for premium days? Okay, Chubby. I'd buy that. But if you're free to play, silver is not easy to come by, so I don't know if that maths. Maybe the camos? Yeah, maybe. But the 3D style, these are just, who cares about these? I don't know. Let's just put it this way. There are very few on that list that would be worth even the 25,000. There's very few, depending on what you got. So anyways, the mechanic's there if you want to use it. That's wild. So first three replacements on the Engineer's Crate are 250 and the rest are 500. You cannot replace your reward if the Engineer's Crate drops a premium vehicle or compensation in gold. Okay.
All right.
Exclusive crew members. Now, how do you get these guys? Already joined upon completion of certain event. Okay, so milestones. You'll be able to recruit. All right, so they're part of the progression rewards, and then medals.
I think I wouldn't care after I got skill. If skill was the first crew member, I wouldn't really bother about the rest of them because it just makes me laugh. So.
Yeah, I don't know what order they come in. It's a good question. All right, pretty bog standard, guys. Not sure what's going on with that light tank on the stats there. I feel like something's wrong. That little sentence, where is it? Is a very interesting development. If you already have all the vehicles.
No, Cliffy's checked it out on tanks.gg. Cliff, you're saying that it's wrong. It should show stationary and firing. Camel level
At 16 or whatever.
Wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I wondered if it was the firing camo. 16 was the real one. All right, there you go. And the other one was for if you're firing. Yeah. Okay, so that is on its way now. Let's check this stuff out. This was good. So did anybody see Skill's video on this thing? Did you see it, Pilgrim?
No, this is the cheating thing.
Yeah, so there was a ban wave, right?
Oh yes, I did see it. Sorry.
Well, let's back up
Yeah,
because the reason for it was, remember we talked about last week, there was the mod that if you have two people on one on each side, it will talk and show you where the other things are and all that
where
stuff.
the other team is. Yeah.
Well, I guess that kind of got out of hand apparently, and because I don't really pay attention to Discord anymore because it's such a disaster and we don't have the forums. I was not aware that there was a bit of a brouhaha with it, and I imagine all the CCs were up in arms in the CC Discord and all that stuff. It went by me because it really didn't affect me. I didn't worry about it too much, but I guess it was a big deal. And they essentially wrote something to detect it. Which...
Right, so they've amended their cheat detection system.
They did, and here's the funny part. Here's the funny part, and Skill has the videos, and some of you may have been watching it. But apparently there were a couple content creators who were having, you know how people try to get in the game with me? And sometimes over a course of a stream, I'll have... multiple instances of kind of the same people in the game with me because they pile in. Or if you're doing count-ins, 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah.
So apparently it was tuned a little too tightly to notice that. And watch Skill's video because he's got videos of it. There's content like they're streaming, right? They're streaming and they got their watchers are trying to stream snipe. They're cruising along and then their game shuts down and a thing comes up like, you've been banned.
Fantastic.
And as Skill says, they have been banned. Banned.
Oh man.
Oh, dude.
I did read Wargaming's little blurb on that to say that unfortunately some non-cheaters and riggers were included in the ban wave for what.
Yes.
There's no explanation, no apology.
Yeah. So this is...
I'm assuming that they've corrected that particular problem now.
Sort of.
Oh, okay.
I think in general, yes, but there's obviously a lot of people who believe they were unjustly banned who were justly banned. So there's a lot of back and forth going on now.
Right. Okay.
This is a interpretation right here. There is one on Discord in English, but essentially they like to provide an update for players banned for match fixing, but participating in 1, 2, 3 fights or count-ins or stream sniping, which I don't think that's the right word for that because and skill goes through it pretty well, but basically, and as I do, if people want to count in and we fight, that's great. That's part of the fun of the game. I don't necessarily call that stream sniping. We give people grief for it and stuff, but stream sniping to me is somebody who comes in and tries to troll you or is using unfair and shooting you and blind shooting and stuff. I don't see that very often. Hell, I don't even know if it's ever happened, honestly. Maybe once or twice in the whole time I've been doing this. But usually it's just fun. We try to kill each other and all that stuff, so that's all good. So I don't really like that use right there because these guys weren't stream sniping. They were trying to get in a game with the content creator they liked and have fun playing the game. Yeah. And then you have a back and forth banter. That's cool.
And sometimes you're on the same side and sometimes you're
right.
on the opposite side. So,
but it was tuned a little too tight, fellas. It was tuned a little too tight because
Yeah. You see where Wargaming now have gone wrong with that. They've now declared how they're actually detecting that cheat, so the people who wrote that cheat can then write a workaround.
I don't know I don't know. I mean, there's always counters to counters, but in that case, I'm not sure, Pilgrim, because they're just looking at their game and who shows up in the game together. I mean, that's the logical way to do it, right? You'd pay attention, and then how much damage is done, and whether or not they're spotted, and a couple of things they know, because it's all server side. But apparently, they had tuned it slightly tight to catch this, and it ended up banning automatically some other people. So this article here says, hey, send in a note here, and we'll review it. And obviously, the content creators are probably back up online. But if you're General Pogue, who was in there with them, now you're going through this stupid ticket system to try to get unbanned for something you didn't do.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's where we get into the Discord thing of people piling in there and saying I was unfairly banned, and then the whole back and forth. And I put in a ticket and they denied me, and people are like, well, you must have been doing it. And like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Jimmy, good point, and that was my next point on it. That they're trying, right? They're trying to stop this kind of. So it makes me wonder, though. Actually, what was this more? Was this a real? What do you guys think? Was this a real, serious kind of problem, or was it more optics? Now, the answer is probably some of both. But do you think it leaned or weighted? You too, Pilgrim. Did it lean more towards an optics problem, or did it lean more towards holy shit? We have a lot of people doing this now.
I think there was a tipping point. In all honesty, I think there was a tipping point when it became a serious effect on games, where previously, if it wasn't such a big deal, there was only a couple of hundred across the EU, maybe, or a couple of hundred across the NA, but it started to get. I think it got to a tipping point where there was so many sign-up. I think it was over 600 were caught doing it, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. So I think it got to a point where Wargaming got so much grief about it, especially from people like the CCs and that.
Yeah.
That they had to do something. I think they may have just let it slide like they do with a lot of these cheats. They catch him as and when, but they don't. I think this was a focused effort, put it that way.
So Dacky made it a PR issue. Yeah. That's kind of why I asked the question. I think it's a little bit of both. I understand what you're saying, and I think it's what you're saying as well. That there probably weren't a whole lot of people doing it, but it was so effective that there were probably some people cranking out some insanely good numbers. And then you've got players in games where people are just getting shot.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't take many games where 15 people on the other side are just getting obliterated and no one's getting lit that people go, well, I'm not playing this game anymore.
No, exactly.
Like, what's the point of this? If someone's cheating like crazy and there's nothing I can do, why would I play this game anymore?
Yeah.
It may as well, Cliffy, and that is a interesting subject because there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there that Wargaming sort of is in bed with some of these people. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but it is true that they haven't done a whole lot to worry about it. You know what I mean? So if they had the ability to shut down count-ins that hard, they have always had the ability to find the bot farmers who have been doing all these count-ins.
Yeah. So the 279 early people, they should be so easy to find then, shouldn't they? Simple as that. They've always had that ability, surely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Who knows? But
Don't know.
It says that's logic.
Don't know. Yeah.
As not working is saying there that it was a problem created by the marking mechanic. Okay, if it didn't, the cheat would be probably pointless. And I guess that's that. Yeah, and boosting companies. I guess that's all true.
Yeah, that's not something I've talked about in a long time, but I have often in the past gone over the whole marking fetish. I call it the marking fetish, but the whole system around marking and the things people do to get extra marks on their tank, which I find to be hilarious that people cheat that, right? Pay money to a marking company to rig 3 marks. I mean, if you're that good and you're raging around doing 3 marking, that's your thing, great. But then all the stuff around it, you know, you get all the silliness.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But it's not just marketing.
You can't back it up. When it's 3 marking cheating, there's no way your gameplay backs that up, because the minute you go back into that tank and go play, people go, "Oh, look, he's 3 marked," and then you die in 30 seconds.
In the long
Like,
list,
how did he
in
get
the
that?
long list of useless things to spend your money on in a game, that's very near the top. Very near the top.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
but it's not just market; it's marking. It's stats, just stats themselves, win rates, win rate, all that stuff. It's tanks, could 279 early and T55 and all these different things. But I don't know. It's funny, all this stuff around gaming like this, because it's big money. It can be big money.
Well, people are sitting there in their basements playing this game. Not, I'm not saying everybody, but they're playing this game, and they are actively wanting to be felt like they are good at something. So they
Could
pay
be,
money to
yeah.
to get the. I mean,
The
sorry, but if
yeah.
you're doing that, you're a sad person.
The psychology of it escapes me a little bit. In the big macro, I get it. On the micro, I don't. It's strange to me. I would also assume the same, Cliffy. Definitely the tanks is probably more common, but I do believe they offer the marking, so I'm assuming that happens as well.
Yeah.
Old men and
Sorry,
fragile
guys, I didn't
eagles.
mean you were all living in your basements, but there are some that live in basements.
Look, if I had a basement, I'd be in it, fella.
Yeah, so would I, to be honest.
I don't have one, because it
No.
would be cooler. It would be darker. I wouldn't have to deal with all these windows when I'm doing my very awesome videos that I make so much money on.
Of which I see 50%, by the way, so get buying those videos.
Peter, I wish I had one. I mean, I sort of do. This office is mostly mine right here, this little area, but it's all good, man. I got a computer and a desk and time to play stupid pixel games, so I really have nothing to complain about. Over 650,000 have downloaded an illegal aimbot, according to internet site. I have no idea. What? Really? For this game? Do you trust a counter? Jeez, that's a good point.
Not unless you pay for it.
Cliffy, it's on the internet, man.
Yeah, it's true.
It's on the internet, bro. All right. I just found that whole sequence to be hilarious. On the one hand, good on Wargaming trying to do something. On the other hand, it begs some questions about what they maybe haven't been doing in the past. They did react relatively fast to banning people. And, at the end of the day, and this is just the way life is, one of the reasons they had to react so fast is they publicly were banning people streaming their game, and that was not a good look.
No.
Because everyone was watching that person play, and they knew that person wasn't cheating.
Yeah.
Right? And then they get banned for cheating, and everyone watching is like, what in the actual hell is going on here?
Yeah.
So they had a PR, they crapped in their own...
Well, it was a PR disaster, so
they had
to do something with it.
Yeah, they crapped in their own Cheerios on that one and had to...
There was a Call of Duty young lady who accidentally streamed her cheats while she was streaming. And she was really, really top of Call of Duty at some point.
Oh, that's valid, though. Yeah, ban those people.
Yeah, and exactly that. So
just delete those. Just delete those
absolutely.
Accounts.
Absolutely.
Like, I have no mercy for that stuff. I've said it a million times in the past for rigging and cheating. For actual rigging and cheating.
And if you're going on stream trying to provide content to an audience and you're going to cheat, you deserve everything you get, because people spend time and sometimes money to watch you do that, and you're an arsehole. At the end of the day, then good on you getting banned. I tell you, not a problem.
Well,
but she was quite famous with that. It went quite viral, didn't it?
For some of those bigger games, though, for the bigger content creators, streamers, it's probably a lot of stress to stay at the top of that game. Yeah. And there's a lot of incentive for them to do things to make sure that they can keep
monetized, isn't it?
To keep making that money if they have made a name for themselves being top at the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whether they got there because they cheated, or they were good and then they needed that little push, or they got tired of tryharding and they wanted to make it easier to stay on top, or it's the stress. I mean, there's a million reasons why that stuff can happen.
Yeah. Cliffy hits it on the head. That's exactly what she said, I think. Remember?
Well, that's standard.
yeah.
Yeah, you see that in World of
Yeah.
Tanks. You see these very average players who otherwise have something else going for them.
Yeah.
And they're pulling in a significant amount. But whatever, that's it. That's show business, man.
But this is where we're doing it wrong. Instead of me and you,
Hate the-
two hairy old men, you
hate
need
the
to
game,
get
not
a
the
young
player.
Lady. Yeah, you need to get a young lady fronting up this channel, and then you just do all the playing in the background. That'd work. We'd quadruple our views doing that.
Maybe I could get some Korean cheerleaders doing that weird dance with the
Yeah,
music that's
yeah.
all over social media
I've
right
never
now.
seen it, so I don't.
You haven't seen the Korean cheerleader girls?
No, I have not. I know. Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah. But
It keeps coming up on my.
it's nothing naughty. They just do
No.
that strange dance when
Strange
something.
dance, yeah,
I'm
that's
assuming
right.
like a run scored or a home run or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, they're whatever they're doing.
There is a market for hairy old men. You're right, Cliffy.
And here we are, all what 30 of us.
Oh. Oh dear.
Do transparent. Should do transparent shrine. Oh my gosh.
We're not going down that rabbit hole at all.
Wargaming Gold League player King Alpha and anyone. Yeah.
Hosted. Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear.
That happened several times. Either streaming or posting stuff with their cheats showing is
But this is shows you the intelligence of some of these people. They post their game on the the whateU.com,
Well, what's-
whatever it is. I got 15,000 damage in a brusque,
Yeah.
and then they post it,
Yeah.
and people go, "Whoa, look at the cheats on that!" You know what I mean? You can't be serious.
I think sometimes it's hubris. Sometimes people just want to go down in a blaze of glory. Oftentimes they're just you get so used to it you just forget, right? You've been doing it for months and you don't even think
Yeah.
about it. You're just like, "Oh, I'm going to post this. This was cool," and you forget that you have
Yeah.
all that crap on there or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Oops.
All right, rest of the news troll. What else we got? We got the Char Murat. This is a Tier 9 medium tank with 3 autoloader shell kind of guy, and it is a medium tank for the French. And this is super test, guys, so it's early days on that. I'm not going to go through it too much. There's also an Iraq 10 ERAC 105 Proto. This is a French Tier 9 premium light tank. Man, they are just churning out tanks.
They are.
Now this is where
As far as super test is concerned, they are. Yeah.
yeah. Here's kind of an interesting thing. This is what are you the Tier 11 tanks. So some stats on these things.
Okay.
Now we've touched on these a couple times, but they don't look head and shoulders above 10s. I mean, it's hard for me to even see them as head and shoulders above the Tier 10. So we're talking is that-
What? I can't really see the picture. What comparison are they putting it in on against 10?
against each other. It's
against
it's
each
the
other, okay.
it's the
Yeah.
4. It's the stats for the 4. They're all
Yeah.
heavy tanks. So the 279 object, which was the other one, not the early, but the one that was for nuke
The non-early one.
warfare. Yeah.
Yeah.
The US MBT, which is a actually heavy main battle tank B, so early main battle tank prototype. Object 452K, which we have as a Tier 10 in our game, and then the Chinese BZT-70 short. 560 Alpha, 1000 on this thing. I don't know what's going on here, whether this is an HE shooter or what, but this thing has a 1000 Alpha gun with a 24-second reload. So I guess it's a heavy tank, but it's kind of FV-esque with that big alpha.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's some kind of special HESH shell or what's going on with that. The others, 2 of them are 560. This is 420, but it's an autoloader. The American one is an autoloader with 5 shells and 2-second intraclip and a 30-second reload for the whole thing. So I'm assuming autoloader.
What's the starting hit points for each one of them?
So they're 2,700 Pilgrim, 26, 26, 27,
Okay.
26,
Right.
28 for the Chinese, but they're not.
They're not huge.
You know,
are
the Mao's has 3,000, and doesn't the
they? Yeah.
I think the U100 has the same as these. So they're good, but they're not significantly better. Gun
They're
depressions,
just standard tier 10, really.
they just feel like upper tier 10, so it's kind of interesting how they're going about this. Now the DPM is relatively high. The US one, which is crazy with the drum, is actually the highest at 3200. Usually your autoloaders and auto reloaders are relatively low, but not this time. And only one of these is an autoloader, so the rest are cyclical guns. We have mobility. Let's see, concealment. Who cares? View ranges are all 410, so they're all maxed.
Yeah.
Mobility wise, pretty quick actually. I mean, this MBT is doing 60. That is significant. That's a heavy
That
doing
is,
60.
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
crazy. The Russian one does 55. So it looks like the mobility wise, the Chinese one's slow at 33, but it's carrying that 1000 alpha gun. Now the armor on the Russian one is good at 330 on the hull, highly angled, and 310 on the turret. The MBT is good at 200 hull armor and 240 turret. It is kind of a rounded turret. Well, not really. Actually, it's really strangely angled. But anyway, decent. The other two are not great at all. I guess.
See, this is not going to be a bespoke tier, so they're going to see 10s and possibly 9s. So they have to be balanced in such that they can still be damaged by 9s and 10s.
Sorry, guys,
That's
I
the
didn't
way
have
I'm
all,
looking at it.
I didn't have all the numbers there for you. Yeah. So, and again, this is RU, fellas. Does Watt 2.0 have tier 11? Does tier 11 come to? There is no indication of that as far as I'm aware. World of Tanks, the one we play, has no intention of bringing tier 11s into the game. And it's
Been raided by Vanta Black.
Vanta Black. Thanks, man. How you doing? How was your stream? Much appreciated. Welcome, guys. On Sunday, we do what's called Coffee Talk. We sit around and we just talk about tanks and various other gaming stuff, and sometimes just random crap, because that's what we do. And right now, we're sort of looking at news of upcoming things or things that might be upcoming. Let's see. Yeah, we talked about the Waffentrager return. Here's some more. There's the Char Marat. Some more information on that as a tier 9. I think that was everything I wanted to talk about on this. There is a small update coming up, 126.1, and it is setting up stuff for the Halloween mode, global map stuff, and some recon weather mission stuff. So there will be, apparently up on September 19th or 20th, there'll be another minor patch update. The Russians, once again, going back over to RU, they're about to have a third set of personal missions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're going to get an ARM.
I wonder
too.
just how much. I wonder how much the non-RU World of Tanks will take notice of what's happening and maybe introduce certain things.
I don't
Back of that.
I don't know. I mean, we've seen some co-development stuff, especially early on during the split, some things that were already in the pipeline, and we more or less both got them. But more and more, they're off on their own angle doing things, and we're seeing less and less crossover stuff. I think that's as we suspected it would be, as whatever agreements for common stuff that they had before they split run out, or that stuff gets finished, then there's no more crossflow. As far as we know, right?
Yeah.
As far as we know. But that's
Or
cool.
Publicly, anyway, as far as we know, publicly.
Yeah. It would be nice to get
It may
another
well be.
another set of campaign missions. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
Testing of tier 11 we talked about. So RU's getting Kamchatka. They're going to actually implement weather on Kamchatka. Nice job on the Silver and Onslaught, by the way, Vanta Black. Well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
that's excellent. Yeah, that's not easy, as many people will know. It's not easy to progress in any of that onslaught, to be honest. It was hard enough to get bronze.
Now, Airship Yard is coming to Super Test, so there's another map. I vaguely remember this one, but I believe it was a winter map. It does say here it was switched to summer, but I think this was a winter map when we got Recon Mission or whatever that map thing was a couple of years back. There's some pictures in here of it. This was all ice, I believe, and now it's a lake.
Oh, yes, it was all ice, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah.
I don't know
Now
how.
Artie's going to have somewhere else to drown.
Well, I don't know how deep it is, whether it's that kind of thin water that you can kind of zing through or what's going on, but it's in early days. You can see it's not well developed. It's kind of barren. What they got? They got all the basics in there, and so they're bringing that to Super Test. So hopefully in the not too distant future, we'll get Airship Yard or some other new map. They did increase the size from 1,000 by 1,000 to 1,100 by 1,100.
All right, that's fair. That's good.
So that's at Super Test. Let's see, that's Watt Express. We're not gonna worry about that. Here, in case you need to divorce-proof your assets, this is their paid-for advertising stuff. Here's the one I was talking about, Watt Express. That's off of Watt Express, Watt 2.0. So this is a rumor from a rumor thing, or an article from another rumor. Watt Express being the big one, but again, I don't know really where this is coming from. You guys may know more about it than me, but it says as of September 2024, the big update 2.0 Watt. Remember, we're in what, 1.24? Enter, or 1.26, whatever the hell we're on. Enters the most active stage. The work is in full swing. Wargaming is really working for the first time since 2018. Whatever. Since our last post on August 4th, there's been big changes. Graphical changes and changes to the maps. It says the first stage developers plan to introduce from 12 to 16 tanks of the 11th level. Again, I don't know if this is RU stuff or if it's actually World of Tanks. It says it's Watt Express, Watt 2.0, so we play Watt, World of Tanks. Turns out that 2025 will be a record year for tanks released. What do you guys make of that? What do you guys make of that? New game? Update to this game? Kind of both?
I think it has to be an update because when they're talking about number of tanks released, it won't be a new game.
Don't know. There's not much info from World of Tanks on all that.
I wonder if it is RU.
Don't know. Well, it says Watt 2.0. Usually when they're specific to Watt RU, they say Watt RU on these posts. I'm not saying they didn't make a mistake here or that it's...
Right.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's probably a long way from being implemented, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Hype up the Monday. Yeah, you're right, too. Fine.
And that's stuff we've already gone over right there. So...
Well, yeah. Power creep with tanks makes it a new game. Yeah. Seems tier 11 with a bunch of tanks released. I don't think it's a new game. I think it's an upgrade. But whether it's for us, I don't know.
Yeah. Power creep with tanks makes it a new game almost. Could be, yeah. I mean, people sort of have this, you can't put tier 11 in the game. Like, why not? It's a tiered game. It just means your tier 10s aren't the top tier anymore. I mean, it's the same idea, but I say that, but at the same time, as you get to higher tiers, then a lot of the things, I've talked about this in the past, a lot of things that make this game so interesting, and it's the randomness, to be quite honest, even though that infuriates people at times. You have less and less of that at the higher tiers because the tanks are more accurate, they see more, there's vision saturation. The top end is already saturated in terms of the mechanics of the game. So if you do add another tier on top of that, it's just going to be a worse kind of saturation.
Yeah.
Than you have.
Yeah.
But in terms of growing, well, that's the only route they have.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? I mean, Tufel hit the nail on the head when he says World of Warcraft bumped the tier limit up to drive in more play. Where do you go if you've got to tier 10? You've got 700-800 tanks in your garage. You've got, let's not say all of the tier 10s. You may well have all of the tier 10s. So the only thing left in then is competitions, onslaught, things like that. Where do you go with your tank progression? Where do you go with the grind?
Yeah.
Where do you go with the reason you joined to play the game from the very first tier 1 you got, you know? Where do you go with that?
Well, we talked about that before, you and I.
Yeah.
Because you asked me how the 100 Battle Challenge was going. I'm like, well, one of the reasons I do that. Then you said, you're probably never going to get them all done. I'm like, yeah, that's more than likely true. But at this point, it's more about a different goal.
Yeah.
And playing a bunch of the tanks in the game, because there's a lot of cool tanks in the game. Playing a bunch of them kind of getting really familiar with them after 100 battles, and having my own goal within the game, the thing I want to do. You know. Yeah, Rock. Send it. You can whisper it to me or Pilgrim or somebody that can post it. One of the mods. I'm assuming you're talking about for the 2.0 stuff. Yeah, so that will be interesting to watch. You know what's going on with 2.0. What is it?
It'd be interesting to see how long it takes to implement, though. I don't think it's this year. It's probably not next year, is it? We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you want to whisper it to me. Yeah, see, it won't. Yeah, not that way. Do the whisper thing. I think if you click on my name and then click whisper. Or Cliffy can do it, or Pilgrim can do it. I don't know who else is a mod in here. That might be the only ones right now, actually. At least that are chatting.
Yeah, you got Randall's in here as well.
Yeah.
Me and Cliffy.
There you go. Cliffy just sent you a whisper, so you can put it on his.
Cool.
What's going on here? I'm getting vibrated. Okay.
That's nice for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Got one of them vibrating chairs that you get from Japan. Very nice. Massage your back.
Cue the Korean
Korean dancing.
Korean dancing music.
You should have that on your Steam Deck. That would be so funny.
Isn't it crazy what things go viral? Like what touches?
I don't know.
What
It's
touches
like
the?
our world. Yeah.
You know what plucks the string of the public's interest and resonates into a sound that people will recognize because
if you could bottle that, you could be a millionaire overnight.
Yeah, that's the thing,
you could
right?
Just link into it.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
People try to, you know, this is only kind of tangentially attached to that, but my daughter is working in a PR firm now, so that was what she went to college for, and so that's what she got a job in. And it's kind of interesting because she's now being put on some accounts. And one of the things they do, which I didn't realize, and it's one of the big things they do, is so they are a PR firm for a significant number of relatively high-end vacation spots, hotels and spots and stuff. So those places pay them to help them with PR. Now, celebrities will have their PR firm. So the PR firms will talk and they cut the deals. Like, all right, my celebrity will come to your comp my celebrity a stay at your resort, 2 days or 3 or whatever. And then then they'll do the negotiation and they'll sign a contract. Right. And the celebrity will sign the contract and they will do 5 Instagram posts and 2 TikTok, whatever it is, 2 TikToks and an interview or whatever it is that they're looking for. And so the celebrity gets to come into that space and use that space for them to perpetuate their image stuff and their generation of more income through being an influencer for whatever people are paying them. And the place will get the advertisement from that celebrity being there that will then do the stuff.
Wow.
And
it's all rubbing backs, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's all done by these PR agencies. And these are, like your C list and D list and B list. And she was saying, this one place I think was trying to get, it wasn't J-Lo, but it was a J-Lo level person, like a top tier celebrity. But apparently with them, their PR agencies basically dictate. They're like, hey, this person wants to come here. And there's really no contract on those, Right. It's more so, hey, we're doing you a favor, Compass, we're coming in, and then whatever you get out of it is good because they're going to do something. But so there's several levels of it, It's like if you're a C-lister, your PR agency's in there negotiating, trying to squeeze you into at some mid-level thing or whatever. But if you're like the top level dog, you tell them what you're doing. It is wild.
Yeah.
It is wild.
The links are up. Cool.
Yeah. See, is modern World of Tanks... Project CW was something else, though. That wasn't 2.0. Right?
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think
That was that
Because I
other
remember
thing.
playing-
That's
I
Project
remember
Cold
playing
War.
The beta version of that. Yeah,
But is that actually 2.0?
Don't know.
Is that another name for 2.0? See, that's what I'm not sure of. It's the so-called World of Tanks 2.0 is an armored warfare theme multi. Okay, never mind. There it is. It does say that. It does say that. Interesting.
First test replaced Project Excalibur. Yeah.
So that actually just fired a brain synapse right before I left the CC program. I do remember them when we were doing a little bit of the Project Cold War. They told us not to call it WOT 2.0. I forgot about that part because they didn't want it to be called WOT 2.0. It was its own game. That's right. I remember that now. But
I'm reading the link now.
But sometimes what the company wants and what the public calls it is
Something else.
yeah.
The game is first of all aimed at the markets of Europe and the USA. Wargaming has serious plans for this game. If WOT 2.0 will be fully released in the RUBY region, then definitely not be under the patronage of Leicester.
Yeah.
Not before the fall of 2024.
Yeah.
What it's saying.
All right, so I played it. I didn't particularly care for it. It was
Okay.
I don't know, but we'll keep an eye on it. So it does sound like it's a completely different thing,
Yes.
which is too bad. I mean, Wargaming has been trying to find that next golden goose for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've developed a lot of different games, and some have been minor successes, but nothing like World of
Yeah.
Tanks. I guess Ships is probably the closest thing they've come to another hit.
Yeah, I mean, World of Warplanes, they failed dramatically with that.
It's still alive, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it still goes. I mean, I think I've still got an account.
Yeah.
I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I avoid it like the plague.
Yeah,
Because I
so
used
do
all
I.
my free XP up on getting a Spitfire and then realised it's all my World of Tanks free XP I used up. Well done, Pilgrim.
Oh, man. If you have a tank, you have a plane. Yeah.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
All right, guys. That is 2 hours and plus at this point. I think I'm going to toddle off into the rest of my day. Got some videos to render and a couple to make. All that good stuff. Going to chill out today, watch a little football, I think. About to rain here, I think. Also, I'm a little hungry.
Hey, you got to get your breakfast down here.
Yeah.
You've used all your words up. You have no more words.
I have no more words for you. I've used all the words.
I have one. I have a couple more words.
Okay.
If you
Yeah.
allow me.
Yeah.
I've searched the internet high and low, as you do.
Mhm.
Tried to find something that is useful for you and useful for me. And I've actually come up with something, and I'm going to send you a new one, not a used one, but I'm going to send you one of these. It's called the moustache code. Moustache and beard code. Look. So look. You just there you go. Look, demonstration live on air. So I'm going to send you one, mate. So look out in the post for a. There you go. See, look, perfectly groomed. I didn't know you could get.
Do you honestly believe that our relationship has entered into the personal grooming?
Yes, I think so. I think I followed your lead. I was clean-shaven, such a debonair character, and now I'm a hairy old man.
I don't know how I feel about the relationship entering into the personal grooming era.
Well, you got, I mean, I've got no hair to speak of on top.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when it comes to grooming,
yeah, I got-
yeah, you've got hair. Bloody pilot, non-stressful life you had.
Yeah. Just sit around I just sit around at the Yo Club drinking.
Sit around flying planes.
Yeah. All you do is come in, take a flight, and go home, right? Yeah, that's it.
I draw the line at sending you underwear, though.
No, that's
I will
right
send-
out. Right out.
That's
We
right
did.
out, but
We
I will
have
send you one of these.
we have sent shoes in the past.
Oh, dear.
Footwear.
Yeah.
We have entered the
Yeah,
footwear area.
Footwear. We have done slippers, yeah.
All right, guys. That is it. I think we're gonna find someone to raid.
Cool. What about raiding Vental Black?
He raided. You're talking
I know.
you're talking the counter raid.
Yeah, counter raid.
Oh.
Get streaming, we'll raid you. Oh, he's gone. Oh, never mind.
Raid, counter raid. I'll see your raid and raise you a raid.
Yeah.
All right, let's see who we got.
We have Howie. We have eyebrow combs. Can you? Sort Major Rock. I'm going to look out for them. Not that I have an awful lot of eyebrows. Oh, talking eyebrows. I got dug at this morning.
Yeah?
I think I was sitting watching early morning TV with the House General, having a cup of tea and she toast and all that lot. And she looks over, she goes, "Have you cut your eyebrows? Have you shaved half your eyebrows?" It's like the kids do, they shave half off.
Yeah.
I go, no, I have not. So I had to get up and have a look in the mirror. Well, of course, my hair's grey, isn't it? So from a distance, it looks like I've got half eyebrows. So I was like,
You're gonna have to get your wife's mascara and draw yourself some eyebrows on, dude.
so I'm going down the road of getting my eyebrows dyed now. Anyway,
Just
this
embrace
is all
it.
about
Just
tax.
embrace it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to,
just
aren't I?
embrace it. I'm trying to find.
I don't think the mountain will care when it's blowing at 60 miles an hour, snow in my face.
All right, we're gonna raid.
Like,
Get to Z Chopper.
cool. Whoever he is, she is.
Him, I
Raid.
believe.
Yeah, exactly how he.
All right, fellas. Appreciate you coming by. I hope you enjoyed this. Are you gonna be here next week?
I am. I'm here for the rest of the
Ooh.
rest of the year now. I think.
I will not actually.
Are you gonna be here?
Yeah, we will. There won't be a coffee talk next week. I just remembered. I will be in Pensacola at my son's parents' weekend. So hanging out in Pensacola next weekend. So no coffee talk next Sunday, guys. But we will be back the Sunday after. That is all I've got from this side of the Atlantic.
Pilgrim signing off from the correct side of the Atlantic.
See ya.